Ooh.
All right, for the benefit of the people on Zoom, our players are Sam Wardenberg, Isaiah Wong, Charlie Moore, Cameron McGusty. We will open our Miami press conference with some comments from Coach Larranaga. Just a reminder, when you ask questions, to please state your name and your affiliation, and please direct your questions for the players to a specific player. Coach?
Well, to begin with, I was tuned in to the games before us, and I listened to Charles Barkley tell the CBS crew that if Auburn won, he would take off his shirt. And I thought to myself, man, no one wants to see that, Chuck. So we did everything possible to make it possible that he wouldn't have to do that. But honestly, we have great respect for Bruce Pearl and the Auburn program. They've had a phenomenal year, and I can't be happier for my guys. They did such a fantastic job of executing the game plan. Jordan Miller, who's not here on the dais, but he got us off to a great start. We ran an out-of-bounds play that we put in yesterday and dunked the ball, and then he got another basket, got Walker Kessler in foul trouble. And, of course, as a coach, you don't want to have to make so many adjustments so early in the game. And then we just kept plugging away. Our defense is about pressure, keeping pressure on the opponent and trying to force turnovers. These guys did a fantastic job of doing that. And at halftime, it was a ball game. I think 33-32. We had a 1-point lead. But the second half, we were everywhere. These guys, were able to make plays, get into the open court. Auburn is a very high up-tempo team, but we feel very, very comfortable in that environment as well. So these guys ran for layups and made a lot of really good decisions in the open court. I congratulate all of them. Oh, I didn't see Zay. Hey, Zay.
Questions for the student athletes in the middle, Dick Cox.
This one's for Sam. The smaller, quicker guys held their bigs to 10 points combined. There 12 points combined in there. Just talk about that, how y'all were so quick and challenged them inside. And I don't think they really thought y'all would do that.
No, yeah. As we've shown all season, our identity is a pressure team. And when it comes to the bigs in the paint, Kessler, they had some strong guys in height and weight on us, but my job's not to battle those guys whatsoever. My job's to front them. If they get into ball screen action, our idea was to, at the 5, we were gonna hard show, trap actually, and put a lot of pressure. And these guys do an amazing job of getting their hand on the ball, getting steals, forcing those turnovers. Charlie is always down there, and I think we did a great job tonight securing rebounds as well. Like looking at 9 rebounds for the smallest guy on our team, like that's insane. And yeah, we just had a great night tonight. It's what we can do every night, and super proud of these guys.
On the right.
I guess for Cameron, what was working for y'all on the high ball screen trapping? It seemed like they weren't able to get out of that a lot, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, that's something we've just been doing all season as a team. Like Sam said, we know that's our identity. Our rotations are on point. As a group, we're just all connected. We're all one. We're interdependent. So we just did a good job of trapping them, rotating, speeding them up, not letting them get comfortable. Like I said, that's just our identity. That's what we do.
Miami Herald.
Michelle Kaufman, Miami Herald. Congratulations to all of you. Cam, can you just talk about what this means for yourself and what it means for this program to get back to the Sweet 16 again, first time since 2016? Thank you.
For the program, it means everything. We're typically known as as a football school, so to be able to take our basketball team to the Sweet 16 is just amazing. Not only for us, but for the school. the staff, everybody that works in the basketball organization, just anybody who's had any part of, our journey and the success we've had this year. We just do it for them. And individually, it's crazy. Me and Charlie have been in college for 6 years. For real. Like, we've been here for 6 years. I went to the tournament one time, lost in the first round. This is a dream come true, for every kid, growing up. You watch these college games in March all day, literally all day. And you just dream of making a run in the tournament. And, this is the start to our run. So it just feels good to be here. I'm so blessed to have these guys with me. We bust our butts every day, all summer, all fall. And, it just feels good. And I'm so thankful for these guys, and I love them so much. That's the only thing I could tell them after the game when we won. We just tell each other we love each other and, keep our good energy up and take it into to our next game on Friday.
Second row, far left.
Gary Furman, CaneSport.com. Guys, basketball is such an individual sport, but Cam just alluded to this, and I'd like to get all of your opinions, if possible, on this. Does it feel different to win as a team the way you guys literally have been? I mean, obviously you've got some good individual players, but this was a true team accomplishment tonight against a very good team.
In the interest of time, I'm going to have to just have one player answer that question. Charlie, why don't you take it?
We've been playing as a team all season. It's not really nothing new. A lot of guys are, shocked we got this win, but, we knew we was going to come in and play hard, together as a team. We got complete confidence in ourselves like we have all season, and, I'm just happy for the guys.
Pete Iacobelli.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Isaiah, can you tell us about that jam on Jabari?
I was just coming off a screen, and they was icing it a little bit, so I just came in, snaked it, and I had an open lane, and I was imagining dunking it, and I came in, got my good 2 steps in, and I was in the air. I saw a big man try to jump with me. I was like, ooh, I hope he jumps with me, and he did. I dunked it, and it felt like an amazing experience when I did that.
Tobias Woodwarn, AL.com. Sam, yesterday you had said you were confident about your game plan against Jabari. Now that the game is over, what did you guys see before, and how did it play out in the game against Jabari and Walker Kessler?
Yeah, Jabari's a very talented kid. You can tell that it's the reason why he's going to be, a lottery pick in the NBA draft coming up. But yeah, we had a game plan, and I think we started Jordan on him, and he played him for most of the night, and Jordan did a terrific job pressuring him, making him feel uncomfortable. He's a great catch and shoot guy, and we felt like if we were able to get him to put the ball on the ground, we were at our best there. If he turned his back to any of us, we were going after it. And yeah, we just executed our game plan really, really well, and that obviously showed tonight and at the final score.
Last question for the student athletes.
Hey, Cam, Michael Rothstein, ESPN, this is for you. It's actually about Charlie. If you can imagine the journey that Charlie's been on with all the schools he's gone to and everything like that, what do you think that means for you guys that he's in the Sweet 16 now? And could you imagine what he has been through to get to this point?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've been in college for 6 years, not as many schools as Charlie, but I've kept up with his I've been keeping up with him since high school. I knew about him. I knew who he was, and he's just had such a long journey. He's always been a great point guard. Every time I've seen him in college or high school, he was always, getting his teammates involved, being a leader, able to score the ball with the best of them. And like I said earlier, it's just a blessing that, he was able to transfer here, Definitely, without a doubt, so blessed to have him.
All right, we're going to dismiss the student athletes. Thanks, guys.
Good job, guys.
Questions for Coach Larranaga? We'll start with Pete Iacobelli.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Jim, 7 turnovers in 80 minutes of basketball.
Pretty good.
What kind of what's the explanation for that?
Go to sit up a little bit. Thanks, Coach.
I don't know. We practice the same stuff all the time. The guys have developed great understanding of what their role is and what we're looking for. Our thought going into games is force turnovers and limit our turnovers. But we don't do anything special. We just run our stuff, and the guys make good decisions. We got really great guards, and the guards handle the ball the whole time. But Sam Wardenberg and Jordan Miller handle the ball a ton as well. Our front court guys, they're not overly big, certainly not bulky, but they can put the ball on the ground and protect themselves. They can make shots and make moves off the bounce like Jordan did early. You know, I think we need to really appreciate the job Jordan Miller did on Jabari. And that was amazing. In the first half, made it very, very challenging for Jabari to get anything going. But, you know, we've been pretty good all season long in handling the ball. Hopefully it'll continue.
Eric, in the back.
Yeah, Jim Eric Boynton with the Greenville News. I guess you said, told the CBS guys right after the game that you guys had developed a defense called the Scramble. For this, was that particular for this game? Was that kind of the same defense with a few variations, or did you do some things completely different against Auburn tonight?
Well, if you want to know about the Scramble, you can order it online with Championship Books and Video. I did a teaching tape for high school coaches in 1990. And we've implemented the Scramble almost every season I've been a coach. The difference is I've had some teams that just couldn't do it. They're too slow, you know, they're too big. They didn't rotate fast enough, so we didn't implement it. When we put it in this summer, we could tell as a coaching staff, this may be our only way to play the kind of defense that will work, because we could see we're skinny as can be. We're not going to defensive rebound very well. And we're going to have to battle for every rebound. The best thing you can do when you can't rebound is don't give them a shot. Turn them over first. So we decided we would trap ball screens. We'd rotate on guys. We'd trap a big man inside. We try to put as much pressure on the guy with the ball with 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 guys going after him. And these guys picked it up, not super quick. It took us a while, and sometime in December, we started to realize, oh, we're getting good at it. We need to do it more. Because initially, we were only doing it about 10% of the time. When we started to have a little more success, we did 20% of the time. Now we're doing it all the time.
Miami Herald, second row.
Jim, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Cam. What does it mean to make the Sweet 16 again? What does it mean for the program? What does it mean for you? And what was your message? I know you haven't had much time with them after the game, but what was your message to these guys after the game?
Well, have you ever seen the movie Braveheart? You guys, I'm a big movie fan, and I love the movies. And so at halftime, I used a William Wallace quote, and I don't know if you'll remember, when he basically, you know, that his community was destroyed, and he ended up, you know, losing his wife and family and everything, and so he basically recruited an army. And on this one day, he pulled that army together and asked them, are you ready to go to war? Are you ready to fight for every thing that we stand for? And that's what I asked the guys at halftime. I said, look, it's a 1-point game. Auburn is an outstanding team. We need to know what we're made of. Can we go out and battle them for the next 20 minutes and keep our dream alive? And that's what it means. We get a chance to keep playing. You know, it's nice, the Sweet 16. Okay, well, we got to find out who our opponent is, and which I know now is Iowa State, and get ready for that game and see how we match up with them and what we can do on Friday night.
Third row back, ALE.com. Yeah.
Yes, Jim, I cover Auburn. Congratulations a little bit. But seriously, can you give us a little bit more insight on what you were trying to do against Jabari and what made it work?
Well, when you play against great players and you're analyzing their game, there are certain things that repeat themselves. And in Jabari's case, he's not only 6'10" and extremely athletic, he had 15 rebounds tonight. He's a great shooter. And shooters like space and like rhythm. We needed to take that space and rhythm away. Jordan Miller was on him, denying him, make him take a step further out. When he went into the post, we doubled him from behind. So Jordan would try to straddle him, and then if Jabari caught it, you'd see Charlie Moore or Isaiah Wong go after it and try to disrupt him. And that's the whole key with shooters. If you let them get into a rhythm, Jabari could have made 10 threes tonight if he was in rhythm, but we try to take them out of rhythm.
Dick Cox in the middle.
Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, you got off to the great start. In Auburn, it took them the whole half to get it back close. And then in the second half, you went on a 7-0 run the first 3 minutes and put them playing catch-up the rest of the game. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we were really concerned about the start of the second half. If you recall the other day against Southern Cal, we had an 11-point lead at halftime, and it completely evaporated, and we fell behind. So we made a strong emphasis to our guys that, hey, we can't fall behind these guys and play catch-up the whole second half. We need to come out and basically go to war, fight for every rebound, fight for every loose ball. And what really works is when you're a team that scrambles a lot and forces turnovers, some of the shots you get are basically layups. You get a layup or a dunk, or, if someone misses a shot, you get an offensive rebound tip in, because the opponent is not completely back. All 5 guys are not back there. And because our front court guys are more like perimeter players, they run the court very well. So, being smaller has its advantages. It has its disadvantages as well, but today it worked very well in our favor.
Todd
Shaughnessy from the Greenville News. Coach, does anybody have more fun playing basketball than Charlie?
No.
And what does that joy do for the team overall?
Man, I love the guy. I mean, he's got the greatest smile. He's got the greatest personality. You just love being around him, and he enjoys it. And the great part about Charlie is he brings that out in everyone. All the players love hanging around with him, love playing with him. The coaches love being around him. And I've called him repeatedly, not this weekend, but way back in December. He's like our Chris Paul or our Tom Brady. He has such charisma. He should be doing a lot of commercials now that I think about it.
Last question, David Hale in the back.
Jim, David Hale with ESPN. To kind of piggyback on that, Charlie's journey is probably unique even in modern basketball standards. How much do you think that has sort of informed his style of play and the way he attacks a game, the way he approaches, and the way he's clearly not intimidated by being the underdog?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know for sure. How many games has he played in college? Like 160 or something? It's like a ridiculous number of games.
Look it up while you...
He's got so much experience. I mean, when you think about your own personal experience, I have friends who grew up in New York. They're still in New York. So their experience is from New York. Me, my wife and I, we've traveled all around. We've lived in so many different states and cities and even lived in Europe for a while. Charlie played in the Pac-12, played in the Big 12, played in the Big East, and now is playing in the ACC. Is there anybody else in college basketball history that has been on that kind of journey? And then to find a program at the end of that journey that embraces him like my coaching staff and players have. They welcomed him into our program and gave him the ball and said, please lead us into an ACC championship or NCAA tournament. And he hasn't let anybody down. He's been a fantastic player, and his journey is not over.
Tonight was his 152nd game.
That's it? Okay.
Coach, thanks very much. Congratulations. Yep. Coach, gym players here? Hey, guys, find your names. All right, for the benefit of the people on Zoom, our Auburn players are Jabari Smith, K.D. Johnson, and Jalen Williams. We'll keep the same format. We'll start with a opening comment from Coach Pearl and then take questions for the student athletes.
Well, we are obviously very disappointed that we were not able to play better and advance to the Sweet 16. It's very difficult to get to that weekend, and Miami played very well. Their experience, their speed, their quickness, right from the jump, they had us. Our team did an amazing job this year coming together and winning an SEC championship. Been a great locker room. Unbelievable character, unbelievable effort, energy. The guys loved each other, played for each other, gave each other grace. We give God the glory in the victory. We give him the glory in the defeat. This is the plan, and we're going to learn from it.
Questions for the student athletes? Second row.
Hi, Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Jabari, can you just talk about what Miami did? Jim Larranaga and the players just tried to explain what they tried to do to neutralize you. What did they do that made things a little more challenging, difficult for you?
They just very physical in every catch. They sent somebody anytime I tried to attack or make a move. So, they just kept bodies on me. They switched every ball screen. So, just made it kind of tough for me.
Second row, middle.
TomGreenale.com. Jabari, Miami's coach was just in here saying you probably could have hit 10 3-pointers if they let you get in rhythm tonight. But what did they do to just, how hard was it to get into rhythm against that defense with the way they were playing?
I had some looks that just didn't fall, but credit to them, just making them tough. Keeping bodies on me, like I said. Being physical with me, sending two people, and just they just defended well as a team, I would say.
Yakabelli.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Jalen, you guys fought back and got it to a point at halftime. What happened in the second half that they were able to kind of get out on you and rebuild that lead?
Like Jabari said, they're a very aggressive team. So, they didn't really give up the whole game. So they just played a better game than us overall.
In the back.
This is for Katie. Johnny Conn at ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. Katie, obviously a tremendous showing from the Auburn family tonight. Fans were out in full support. You're a guy that derives a lot of energy from the crowd. Just what's your message to the fans that have traveled with this team and really have given you guys a spark all season long?
They've been a part of us for the whole season to give us success. At the jungle, when we travel, they come 3,000 packed, on the bus, the Tiger Walks, I appreciate them a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing them doing the same thing next year.
Back row there. Go ahead.
Right here, Joe Goodman, AL.com. Question for Jabari. Just simply, what are you going to take away from this season?
Just how hard it is to win, how important it is to build relationships throughout basketball, just how important it is to, just care about your teammates, build relationships with your teammates, and, just how important it is to never take nothing for granted, Basketball, the ball only going to be bouncing for so long, so, just have fun with it. Just don't take it for granted, I would say.
Third row.
Mark Murphy from Inside the Auburn Tigers for Jalen. How are you feeling out there? You look like you played really well, and you must have a really good dentist to get you back so quickly.
Yeah, I felt like the first time I was out there, I was a little fatigued because, I missed the whole second half of the last game because of the accident that had happened. But other than that, after the first one, I felt pretty good, confident in my shot, and then played as hard as I could to try to win the game for our team.
Jalen, would you move your microphone a little closer? Thank you. In front here.
For Katie and Jabari, both of you were new this year to Auburn. BP mentioned that this team did an amazing job coming together. What are you going to remember about this team the most and the process of coming together with so many newcomers?
Well, for me, us all being new faces, a lot of transfers, and him being the only freshman, that played a big part of our success. But, our relationship off the court was tremendous. We all get along. We hang out every day, 4 of us, the 5 of us, the whole team, and BP, bringing us together, and we all had a good bond with our coach staff. And, this just felt like a family. It felt like home when we first met.
The back
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, it just felt like a family. It really felt like more than basketball, like being around everybody. But, we gave it our all, but it just didn't end how we wanted it to. But I feel like without basketball, this team will still always be together no matter what, so.
Back.
Hey guys, Carrie Yosef, WVTM in Birmingham. Jabari, this one's for you. Just being your first year in college basketball, to have the season that you guys did, I know it's tough to reflect in this moment, but what overall are you taking forward with you from this team, and especially just, being in the big dance for the time that you guys were in it?
Just how fun it is. Just showing me why I came to college, why I chose to come to college. The ups and downs you're gonna have, the tough games you're gonna have, the different defenses. Just all of that is just important coming to college. And I feel like that's what I'll take from it. Just the challenges I faced, the good times I had, the bad games, the good games. Just taking it with me, and taking Auburn, just thanking them for everything. It was. I feel like if I had to make this decision 1,000 more times, I wouldn't choose nowhere else but Auburn. So, it was fun.
Pete Iacobelli.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Jabari, just to be clear, you've already determined your future. Do you know what you're doing next?
No, I don't know yet.
All right, we're going to dismiss the student athletes. Thank you, gentlemen. Questions for Coach Pearl? In the middle here in the light blue.
Justin Ferguson, Auburn Observer. Bruce, in the losses you guys have had this season, Jabari and Walker had played really, really well tonight, off games for both of them. What was different about this one? Something Miami was doing on defense, or, what went into that?
Yeah, just, if I knew, I probably could have prevented it, It's like, sometimes when you talk to the losing coach and he doesn't have the answers, because I didn't have the answers, and that's a good question. Jabari and Walker have been consistent as anybody we've had, right? Part of it's just getting off to a bad start. Walker picked up 2 early fouls, missed a couple easy ones early, and I thought their ball pressure, it bothered us early. We came down and we got disrupted. Zep was disrupted, passing out of the double team and, things that we knew they were going to do that we hoped to take advantage of the double team, and we really never did. We were inviting the trap and then trying to make plays out of it. And so.
AL.com first and then Miami Herald.
The Bias Football on AL.com. Bruce State, they had 30 fast break points. You guys had 1 fast break point, and then there was a lot of short shots. Was fatigue a factor at all?
No, I don't think the fatigue was a factor. I mean, we were disrupted. We were getting outplayed. And our team we haven't been outplayed like that all year, right? As I stop and think about our losses, right? Our first loss at Arkansas, You know, we got possession to win the game in regulation. It's overtime loss. Our next loss, I think, was at Florida. We got the ball to win it in regulation, right? We go to Tennessee, and we're down 3 with less than a minute. That's our third loss. In the A&M game, we came back, and, you know, I don't know, whatever got down to was like 4 late, something like that. So this is the first time that we got it handed to us. So we just did not respond. You know, my best player is 18, and they have 4 players that are 24. And that experience showed, and it really did. And so from one of the things we talked about after the game was, you know, what can we learn from this, right? What can we learn? I thought just we hadn't been hit in the mouth like that all year. And we responded throughout the, you know, by the end of the first half, battle back. But when they hit us in the mouth again at the start of the second half, I thought about actually going with a different start lineup, and I probably should have because of how poorly we started. And I can put that on me. I probably should have gone with a different lineup to start the game, start the second half, because that lineup started so poorly.
Miami Herald.
Bruce, I mean, you had seen them on tape and everything. Now that you've seen them, played them in person against your team, how good do you think this Miami team is? And, you know, going forward, I mean, they were picked 12th in the ACC this year. You know,
Yeah.
what do you think about this team overall?
Well, because they had so many new guys, and there was a lot. We were picked 5th in our league in one league, you know. And so they're good. They got good pieces. They're really quick. I mean, the guards, each one of those guards, Wong and Moore and McGusty they're all going to win. Those 3 kids are going to win their matchup almost every night, right? And then, you know, Sam just is a unusual player for what he does, right? And then, you know, Miller's was really quick. I think Miller's quickness bothered our 5 men a little bit. You know, they don't have great depth, so that could be an issue for them. But they're a tough cover, and they got older, experienced guys that have just been there and done that.
Dick Cox.
Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, you kind of touched on this earlier, but they get off to the good start, and again, you got all the momentum in going at the half, and they went on a 7-0 run in the first 3 minutes and all like that. Do you think that really took it out of your kids mentally to have fought back and then been back in the hole again?
Yeah, it very well could have. You know, we had some things that we wanted to try to get done early, and we just didn't. And the game, the second half started just like the first half started. So it probably took something out of us.
On the right.
Bruce, I know you're invested in what Jabari was saying there about, you know, what he learned just this year at Auburn with, you know, presumably now him about to become a high lottery pick. What did you enjoy most about having him on your team and coaching him this season?
Well, he's just such a great competitor and such a great teammate. You know, he truly does love his teammates, and those guys are, you know, just they get along really well. And we had a lot of fun this year. We really did. And he is he's been raised right. You know, he's got fantastic parents. He's got great people around him. His AAU coaches, his high school coaches, his mentors. He's got it all. I mean, he really does. And he's not selfish. He's hardworking. He's disciplined. He's got his routine. He's a pro. And he had a great experience at Auburn, and he made history at Auburn. And so I'm obviously very, very proud of him.
All right.
Bruce, you know, you mentioned, you know, your best player being 18. Down the stretch, is it sort of slipping away? Is it a little harder to sort of find the answers with a team as young as this one, or how do you sort of go about where to turn to for the answers down the stretch there?
You know, Jabari, Wendell, KD, you know, they have ability to really turn it on, right? And Walker has been terrifically consistent all year long. And I will not remember much about this game as it relates to Walker. I'm gonna remember, him being the best defensive player in college basketball. I'm gonna remember him, making plays in the air. He got 2 early fouls, and that was disruptive a little bit. He missed a couple around the basket, and he is so hard on himself, right? But we just couldn't get anything going offensively.
Corner on the right.
Yes, Bruce, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. Any reason that Walker was unable to play the last 6.5 minutes, and then also what Jalen did the last 2 games? How much can it help him going into next year with probably a bigger chance to play more?
Yeah, we just obviously down like we were. We played Jalen wound up playing when Walker got in foul trouble. We started rotating Jalen at the 5. Hadn't done that much all year, and Jalen played a lot of it last year. And obviously having the 2 of them on the floor was good. We didn't do that much this year because Dylan Cardwell and Walker were so good at the 5 and so consistent. There really wasn't much need to, but we were down, so we needed to have them both out there on the floor a little bit. And then just in the last 5 or 6 minutes, Jalen had played so well that we just had him out there. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, I'm excited to build it next year around Jalen. We have been the winningest program in the SEC over the last 5 years. We've won 3 championships in 5 years, and we will. I take great pride in the consistency of our program's success, and I'm ready to build it back.
4th row.
Bruce, Joe Goodman, AO.com. All things considered, this felt like a transformative season for Auburn basketball during the regular season coming out of the pandemic. What are you going to take away from this season going into next year?
The SEC is going to get crushed because of our tournament performance. Arkansas is the only team that's alive. I think we just beat each other up all year. It was such a grind. And that's the only thing I can tell you, because the league was really, really good. We didn't show it in the tournament. But what I'll take, from this team is the fact that they brought it every night. They won more games on the road than any team in the SEC in league play, and we have the best home court advantage in league play, and that's why we were able to finish. When we finished 15-3 in the league. So, champions. And then as far as, the future is concerned, I just always promise those kids, I'm going to bring in good guys. I'm going to bring in guys they want to be around, guys they want to live with, hang with, and go to church with, go to lunch with. That's what we'll do.
15-3 is correct. Mark Murphy, last question.
Yeah, Bruce, 30.4% shooting. It was your worst performance of the season. You think was it something Miami was doing, and it was a combination of you guys just having an off night?
Well, I think it was a combination of what Miami did defensively, their speed, their quickness. They turned us over. They stole the ball 10 times. We had some afraid to fail moments. We missed a lot of balls around the rim, right? Just a ton around the basket. We panicked a little bit offensively. Obviously didn't do a great job getting us the better looks in this game. But it was our front line has always been very dominant, right? And tonight we, even starting the second half, my gosh, we got the ball inside a couple times and just weren't able to get it down.
Coach, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
being here, Coach. Okay, you're welcome.